Hi, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a homeschool haul, and I'm very excited to share all these things that I got with you. So if you like this kind of content and other homeschool content, please remember to subscribe and let's get into it. Okay, so I've mentioned before that we are part of a charter, and we've been part of this one just for a year. We were part of one before that, but it closed down where we live, so we joined another one. And this one's called My Tech High, and it's in Utah, which is where we live, in Oregon, and maybe one other state. I'm not really sure. And it's online. Like, everything is online. And I know I've had someone ask about like accountability, or if they have to like report to someone in a homeroom, because there's a homeroom option thing when you go to sign up. And no, the only thing you have to do as far as accountability every single week is just marking if they did their math, like language arts and that kind of stuff. And if you put no, you just explain why, like, oh, we didn't. We didn't do it, we're out of town, whatever the reason is, or we did something different. And then you just write like 3 to 5 sentences about what they did that week. And so it takes me maybe 10 minutes to go through all 4 of my kids and just fill that out once a week. So it's very simple. And then they give you access to these funds that you get to use. So you have funds for each child for their core subjects, which includes like math, language arts, science, social studies, and then an elective class and technology if you choose. My kids are taking technology classes through My Tech High, but you don't have to do it that way. You can figure out your own technology things if you want to. And so I have some kids doing Spanish and some doing Japanese as well. So those are like their elective classes, and you get funds for that grouping of classes. And then you also get technology funds, which can be used, if you want to buy a tablet. Obviously there's not crazy amounts of funds. It's not like you're going to go buy a super expensive Apple computer or something like that. But there's different funds there, and you can use, the funds and then pay the rest on your own as well. But you also can use it for basically anything homeschool related that doesn't fit into their core subjects. And so it can be used for extra art projects, and you can do like headphones, speakers, a projector, which is one of the things we got. Ours was getting old, and so I'm not going to show you the projector, but we got a projector using some of our technology funds. And it's kind of just the catch-all fund. Like, you can use it for technology, but you can also use it if you just need extra funds for some of your core subjects. So hopefully that was somewhat clear. But we had money that needed to be used up, and I had to figure out with their core subjects, you also can use that money for curriculum. Which is, it's a good chunk of money, and curriculum gets really expensive. But we use Christian curriculum, and you can't use those funds because it's state funded, right, to buy your curriculum if it's Christian, curriculum. And so we don't use it for that. So then I end up with a whole bunch of other funds, and you can use it to buy books. Like, if you just want to buy tons of books, like science kits, museum passes. We don't live close. Like, we're an hour and a half away from like a really good museum. And 2 hours from most. And so it's like not something we frequently will use. I did use some of the funds to buy one museum pass just because it's by my in-laws. It's a couple hours away. So I was like, okay, this one we might go to a couple times, and there's a variety of things to do. So I used some of those funds to buy those passes, which are like $300-400. They can get really expensive. And so it's worth it for us not to have to pay. But then I had to figure out how to use the rest of the funds. So I figured I'd just show you what I got. Most of this is coming from their core classes. So it had to be like under science or language arts or, Spanish. It had to be books, like something that kind of fell into those categories to be covered, when I went to get reimbursed. So let's kind of start with what? We'll start with the books. I didn't really get that many books because we used some of the funds last fall to get a bunch of books, but I had this one in my Amazon cart. So it's Awesome Kitchen, not kissing. I don't know what I was trying to say there. Kitchen science experiments for kids. And so I just thought this could be fun for them. And we like to try to get in the kitchen so they can look through things in there. And then this was another one that was in my cart. These are, you know, random. Like I said, I was just going through things that we might use, but it's making a difference. And these funds had to be used by April 1st. And then April 1st starts over for the next school year. So you can keep collecting receipts and then submit them in the fall. So that's why I have all this stuff now, because it had to all be purchased by the end of March. But I just thought this book looked good, and it had really good reviews and something simple we could maybe put into like our morning basket time. And then 2 of my kids do Homeschool Spanish Academy, which we really love. I have a whole video, I think, on it, so I'll try to remember to link it down below. But they have like native speaking lessons with it, like a native speaker once a week. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. And so they do those, and then my husband practices some of the words in their vocab with them throughout the week. But then I also was like, should we try some different like workbooks that we could just add into their school study a couple times a week? I didn't know which ones were good. I was just going through Amazon, kind of seeing what would work and what would fit into our budget. And so we're going to try these out. They might be too simple too for them. We'll see. Like I said, I don't know. This is for grades 1 through 3, and this is ages 5+. So even if it's just nothing more than a review of vocabulary, I feel like that'd be helpful, because, you know, they'll get really good at something, then they'll move on to the next thing and forget all the vocabulary they learned before. So just kind of a refresher. The next things I got were from Lakeshore Learning, and these are all for my 5-year-old. I've been trying to think of some language art stuff. My other daughter, who's almost 10, struggled with reading. It was very frustrating for all of us to teach her reading. And it's been the same for this daughter as well. My boys were totally fine. My girls have had a really hard time when it comes to reading. So I was trying to find some stuff that might just be a little bit different and help her out, because going through any sort of workbook right now is just too hard. We've tried several different things. It's just too hard. So I saw like these dominoes right here that are for short vowel sounds. And so I thought this might be fun for her. And then these ones are long vowel sounds. They also had some, I think that was like beginning sounds, which I feel like she's pretty good at. But some of the vowels are a little bit of a struggle. Like trying to hear stuff in words is difficult. You know, it's hard. It's learning how to read and do English is hard. And then I saw these things that I thought could be cool. They're Power Pen Learning Center. And so they have like the little cards, and then it has a little pen. And I think it tells you if you click the right answer or not. We haven't actually used them yet. And so I thought that would be fun. So there's a few different ones. I got like the kit for her age group, I think. And so this one came with word families, reading readiness. So some of these she'll do a little bit later because she won't be ready for them. But they have the short vowels again. So that's something she can do now. And then consonants, like the beginning, starting letter of a word. And so I got those for her just to try them out. Again, there's a lot of these things I would not have bought normally, because I'm like, oh, we'll just figure out a way to make it work without spending tons of money. But since we had funds to use, I was trying to try some different things that we haven't done before. And then since it covers like science and social studies, I had these geography games that had been sitting in my Amazon cart for a while. And so you can play them on the go. Obviously they're very small, but also just a review. And so if the kids get done early or whatever, just something for them to do. And it's kind of hard to tell. I don't know if you can see on the back. I'll link below anything I can. I tap this like it's gonna focus. I am losing my mind after being sick for like a week and a half and all this stuff. I'm just like, and being pregnant, we're not all here today. But, and so it has like the picture, and then you can say what it is and flip open the little doors, and it will reveal if you're right or wrong and all these different things. So this one is for states and capitals, and this one is for countries. So I got both of those for my kids. And then I grabbed a couple games. We had gotten several other games throughout the year and just really didn't need more games. But again, stuff was sitting in my cart. So I was like, what can we get that I've looked at before that I was interested in? So this is a mental math game. It says the fast-paced game of mental math magic. This was pricey for what it is. It's like $19, I think, for this size. But again, I'm not like paying for it technically, so I was more inclined to buy it, which, you know, that's a whole like psychology lesson right there for you. But so this is called Proof. I want to say Poof, but it's Proof. And so we'll have to try it out. Again, I'll have to review some of these things later on when I do a whole review of maybe Christmas games and Easter games, and just let you know how we feel about them or what we liked. And then I got Apples to Apples Junior, and this is just like the really small size, and thought this might be fun for my kids to play. They've played Apples to Apples a few times, but again, they're not super great at it. So we're gonna try. And then something else I thought would be fun, I think we used our technology funds for this because it's more, you know, it's an art thing, but is polymer clay. My kids, especially my boys, have been really into polymer clay lately, and they want like a variety of colors and all these different things. If you don't know, this is like, you have to bake it. It doesn't set up like firm and hard until you bake it in the oven, and it's just at very low temperature for a very short amount of time. But they like to build all sorts of things. So these are just two different kits. So this has really small but tons of different colors. And then this one, I got two of the same one so that they could share colors and not fight so much. These ones are a little bit bigger and there's not as many colors in here. So we got those for them. And then I think the rest of this stuff is all science. So let me show you. I was trying to look at science kits we haven't gotten before. We did like, you know, KiwiCo for a long, long time, which some of those could have been covered under our core subjects. But people also recommended Mel Science, and I know that other people, when I said that to my husband, he thought I meant M-A-L-E. And he was like, that sounds interesting, like we're studying about boys or what? But it's M-E-L, so not Mel Science, but Mel Science. Okay. Anyways, and so I'll show you the backs of these because these ones have my address on the front. But we got 3 different kits, and you know, these could come monthly if we want them to. So if we like them, maybe we will, and save the receipts and have them reimbursed more next year. But this one is a space kit. And then this one, I don't remember what this one's supposed to be. Oh, this one's math. That's right. I forgot. So they have a few different areas of study. Again, I'm not super familiar with them, but I know other people that like them, and I've seen them here on YouTube. And so I thought we'd try these out. So there's a math one, there's a space one, and then the chemistry one like came in a bigger box. And so it comes with all these different things. I'm not sure. This says VR cardboard, whatever that means. And then, so here's the chemistry thing, but then there's a starter kit in here too. So I'm assuming, you know, just a lot of pieces that you need for all the other projects that you could get from month to month. And so my kids have been dying to get into all this stuff. They're like, when can we look at this? When can we look at this? So they'll be very excited that I filmed this now and they'll be able to look at it. And then I got this. I might regret it because it's, you know, like a whole bunch of liquidy, yucky, slimy substances. But I just thought it looked fun. And again, someone recommended it when I was going through. My Tech High has a Facebook page and things that people like to get. This was one of the things that popped up. So I think there's tons of different things. Like, so there's some slime, there's snow, there's the ooze blick. Is that even how you say it? You know, like with the cornstarch and water type of a thing. This says crystal feather, so I'm not sure what that means, but some different substances that would be fun. And then one of the like bigger ticket items that we got, again, that someone recommended, was this chemistry happy atoms thing. And so again, I don't know a whole lot about it besides the fact that, you know, you can create these atoms. It has all the pieces in here, and you can learn about some of the different elements and stuff like that. And we haven't talked a lot about that kind of stuff, but I thought it would just be a fun educational thing for my kids. And this is from the same company, but this is Interactive Chemistry puzzles on here. So these are all the like little puzzle pieces, and it shows some more of them back here to put them together. Again, just becoming a little bit more familiar with chemistry. And I never like really took a chemistry class throughout all of my education. And so this will be fun for all of us to learn. Like I have some basic chemistry things, but nothing crazy. And so we'll see how it goes, and we'll have to let you know how it goes. All right, so that's my homeschool haul. This is what happens when I have other people's money to spend. It sounds kind of horrible and bad, but anyway. And so I thought I'd just share with you, maybe if you needed a few ideas of different things or that might fall under different subjects or whatever. And I'll make sure I review things. It'll be several months, you know, because we want to use it and actually see if we really enjoy it or not. And so I'll review it and let you know if it's really worth your money or not. But if you enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you next time.